divorce, co-parenting, and life transition coach. I recently invited Theresa Collins, LMFT, CDS, and founder of Divorce Navigation to have a divorce discussion with me. Theresa is extremely talented as a marriage and family therapist and has been practicing for many years. It is because of this training and experience, as well as the years of working with clients, that Theresa decided to found the company called Divorce Navigation. Divorce Navigation is intended to support individuals who are thinking about a divorce or just starting a divorce. Going through the divorce navigation process with Theresa provides any individual who's in this beginnings of a divorce with knowledge, empowerment, and a resource of referrals based on their particular couple dynamic. In this discussion, I asked Theresa to help explain to me more about divorce navigation and what someone can expect when they hire Theresa as their divorce navigator. One of the reasons that I really wanted to have you come on today is because you have such a unique experience, being that you are an LMFT, that you also have training as a certified anger management facilitator and as a systematic training for effective parenting. And then you add on the certified divorce specialist training, as well as your own life experience in a very high conflicting divorce situation. So I know that that's sort of what you everything that came together in this passion project of you that you're starting. So let's jump into it. What is divorce navigation, high level?
Okay. I describe it initially as your first stop. So divorce navigation is a place where you would come before you would even retain an attorney, go to mediation, and look at other options. It's designed to provide a divorce-centered education. These are for clients who are contemplating divorce. Maybe they've already been served with divorce papers. They need to understand the process. Maybe they just want to gain knowledge about the process. And the idea behind it is they come in and then there's an assessment that's done on their case or the potential case. So they have the assessment and they can build a team if they want to move forward. And that's part of it as well.
So with the assessment, this is not like a filling out, this is not like an online assessment. The assessment is deep time and interviewing with you to help put together and get a big picture of them, correct?
Yes. So this is what has been so helpful is being a licensed marriage and family therapist. I've done a lot of clinical assessment, treatment plans, establishing goals and outcomes. And with the other training that I have, it really provides a good skill set to do this type of an assessment. So as a divorce navigator, there's a lot of insight that will help toward that. And the assessment piece is really important because it's more than just a questionnaire. It's someone coming in and, well, I can get into more of that if that's if you're ready.
So we do. So you have this assessment, and I'm going to ask you more about those details, but at the end of the assessment, you sort of have a big picture. And then from that big picture, that's maybe a little bit more of the map. And that's why you call it the divorce navigation, because from there you sit down and talk with them after and walk through everything and then discuss and help them with their map. Like, so yes, they want to get divorced now based on their assessment. What type of divorce process might be relevant for them and their couple dynamic that they're involved in? Is that right?
Yes, exactly. And there's a lot that goes into it. So divorce navigation is designed to be about 5 to 6 sessions. So it's short term. So you have the initial assessment, and the initial assessment goes into depth, but it goes into more than just the divorce-centered education. There's a lot of things I'm looking for. I want to even listen to descriptive words. For example, if a client is talking about how their partner is a private person And so the odds are, if someone is a private person, they'd be maybe more inclined to agree to a collaborative divorce or mediation, which doesn't require them to go into the family law court system. It could be resolved outside of court. So that's just a small example. But if it's also someone, I mean, there's other things to take into consideration. You're also looking at the person's future goals and needs and what might change in their life moving forward in the assessment. And there's so many specific things in there. Just as another example, just the example of, do they have pets? Okay, so in California, so pets are basically property, but who's going to pay for pet food, vet bills, end of life? That needs to be worked into an agreement. That's one small example.
So that Theresa, thank you for bringing it back. So high level, you've got your assessment, which gathers some of those facts that you're talking about. And then based on some of those facts, and that may take, 3-4 hours of talking, and then you come back, right, in that next time with them, and you talk about the assessment and walk through what is their next step. Okay, thank you. I think, and together you collaborate. Okay, thank you. I think this process, mediation, or this process, collaboration, or we think that, or I'm seeing based on everything that the litigation attorney might be the wisest thing for you, right? And so then you already had mentioned that you have, you're referring out people. So you have a huge list. This is what, again, back to the navigation map, right? You have a huge list of people that you refer out based on that first level of what type, correct?
Yes, yeah. So the initial assessment is a 90-minute assessment.
Okay.
So it's a lot of questions, gathering a lot of information. And then when we meet the next time, they're provided with about a 10-page assessment. So they have something tangible, covers all kinds of information, whether or not they want to change their name, the different types of divorce, how they prepare for the divorce, the documents that they need, how to talk to your children about divorce. There's referrals for age-appropriate books that can be recommended for their kids to introduce the topic of divorce. There's referrals for financial planners. It could be therapists, attorneys, mediators, divorce coaches, anything based on what they're saying. Maybe they need long-term care type, so there's referrals. So it's building the team, but it's also providing them a lot of information above and beyond just some type of questionnaire.
Right. So the assessment, you gather all that and you're educating. And then after the assessment, then based on the direction that of all those questions, then you don't give them all the referrals. You basically piecemeal together what their customized plan map is for what you've talked about, right? And that's where the referrals go along with that. And then for whatever their needs are. And then you have all these other specific options that they can or cannot add to it by piecemealing and adding to it whatever you'd like. So in other words, they may say, I want to do mediation, but I'd like you to help me with the marital settlement agreement, right? Or I'd like you to help me with the parenting plan, right? So those are the additional things that come after the fact in the divorce navigation service, correct?
Yes. So when you say MAP, if you look at it as an acronym, right? So just make a plan, make a plan. And so with that, now we've done the assessment. Now we've reviewed the assessment. We've gone over all the information. Now there may be things added to the assessment, which are samples. So I'm very visual. So I like to provide clients with samples so they have an idea of what I'm talking about. So somebody may do an assessment and say, gosh, I'm really not ready for this, but they've never heard what a postnuptial agreement is. What is a postnuptial agreement? Well, I have a sample, so if they want to learn about a postnuptial agreement. Or if they are thinking about leaving the house and they need to have a move out agreement. What does that look like? Do you just leave the house? No, it's best to have a move out agreement. What does that look like? What does it look like transitioning with the kids? Is there a daily transitional checklist? What does that look like? Well, there's a sample for that. So there's a whole discovery checklist with like 30 different categories for them to just check off to help them prepare. The idea is to get them organized, because it's so overwhelming. It really is. And quite honestly, the clients can become extremely empowered and become their own best advocate. They know their case better than anyone. But it's a matter of helping them get through the emotional stress and strain of it, supporting them that way, helping them get organized, giving them the pertinent information based upon their situation.
I want to thank Theresa for having this divorce discussion with me. As you can see, Theresa has a wealth of information that she shares as she's working side by side with any individual who reaches out to her. This information empowers these individuals with knowledge and confidence, as well as provides them with the resources they need for their particular couple dynamic. I can't think of anyone who would not benefit by having a divorce navigator help them create their map. I would highly recommend that anyone thinking about a divorce reach out to Theresa to have them work alongside her to create a map for them and their divorce. For anybody who is interested in learning more about divorce navigation, please reach out to me and I can put you in contact with her.